All right, y'all. So this is about to be quick. I'm not gonna make this long, but it's just something that I like. It's itching. It's making me itch how much I need to talk about this. So let's just get into this real quick.
At the age of 6 years old, I was molested by my babysitter's brother. I then went home and immediately told my mother. My mother called the police. They investigated, they questioned me. And then while sitting in line in McDonald's waiting for chicken nuggets, she got a call from the police officer that they were dropping the charges because it was his word against mine, a 6 year old. And then my mother handed me my chicken nuggets and we went about our day. At the age of 8, I'd be in a Kroger's the first time a grown ass man ever hit on me, ever turned his neck to look at my ass because I had a bubble butt for a child. And then for the next 20 years, I would make decisions rooted in that one piece of trauma. In school, dudes grabbing my ass, tell the teacher nothing gets done. At 20 years old, I became a stripper. Shit did not faze me. Because in my mind, all I had to offer was my body. More sexual assault happened with inside the club. Obviously, you can guess what happens when you tell your manager that the highest paying client tried to rape you in the VIP room. You get fired. And he still shows up at that club. Now, my story is not unique. It is not special. Not everybody that ends up getting molested becomes a sex worker. But I did. Why? I don't know. What I do know, being inappropriately handled as a child awoken what I call a beast inside of me. And this beast had me in fucked up positions. I then went to go join the porn industry because what? All I have to offer is my body. When I told my little story time about G-Eazy, it opened a gateway for other women to come to me and tell me their stories with said man. So when you say stupid shit, like,
if these women went through this, if G-Eazy was in his 20s coming back and messing with like sophomores in high school, then this should have been forwarded to the police. If those 19-year-olds were essaying on his tour bus, it should have went to the police. But don't tell me he told you not to speak about it, so you kept quiet.
you're ignoring the deep rooted.
Okay, so I'm gonna let her finish, but like for one, let's get into the first comment. Why did I become a sex worker? When you are touched inappropriately at a young age, it leads to hypersexuality. It leads to wanting to explore this thing very young that you had no business being exposed to. So that is why there are a lot of people that have been assaulted that end up doing sex work of some sort at some point in their life or another. That is not abnormal. That is a symptom of being assaulted. Now, beyond that, unfortunately, I have to denounce one of the content creators that I oftentimes react to because when it comes to men speaking on women's business, and I'm talking about women getting SA'd, y'all need to really learn how to close your freaking lips and listen. Y'all need to stop opening your mouth about something you have never experienced and will never understand. You do not know what it's like to be a victim. You do not know what it is like to not be believed, to be told that you are lying, to be harassed for that, to continue to further be assaulted because you told. Y'all do not understand what it is like to go through something like this. So when y'all open your mouths and you're loud and you're wrong and you have a platform and you're teaching other people to be so crass and have no empathy and just so dumb, it really gets on my last nerves. I like Poetic Flacco's content. But in the last two videos that he's made, the one about Megan Thee Stallion and this one, I've realized he hates women. And I cannot follow men that hate women to this extent because that is what it comes down to. Y'all think, oh, just tell the police. So when you tell the police don't believe you, nothing happens. You continue to further get assaulted. You continue to deal with scrutiny. You continue to deal with the family members of that person bullying you, harassing you. So not only did you just go through being assaulted, but you're also getting harassed on the back end of it. And y'all think you're just oh so smart with your degrees and stuff. Come on. And oh, by the way, this is not only a problem that affects women. There's a lot of young men that, because of ideals like Poetic Flacco's, will not speak up if they get assaulted either. And if it came down to a man saying he got assaulted, I just wonder if you would have that same energy. I just wonder if you would have that same energy. If you had been assaulted, I just wonder if you would have that same energy. If you got assaulted and then told that you did not get assaulted and that you're a liar and then got treated like crap after the fact, do you know how re-traumatizing it is to be called a liar about your trauma that happened to you? One of the worst possible things that can happen to you. Like there's two of the worst things that can happen to you in my personal opinion. It's getting pew-pewed and it's getting sexually assaulted. Those are two of the worst things that can happen to you while you're living on this earth, and the scars that they leave and the trauma that comes along with those things. And y'all get up on your soapbox and you think that you know exactly what you're talking about. Stay out of women's business if you're not going to educate yourself on it. Because this video made me mad. Genuinely. Okay? That's my message. I'm going to let her finish speaking and I'm going to close this video out. But, gosh, it really grinds my gears.
Problem that we have in our society. I mean, come on, look at the fucking Epstein files. At this point, I feel like we're already aware that this country is ran by pedophiles. Oh, but your favorite rapper does it, and all of a sudden, couldn't be my guy. Couldn't be dude. It wasn't until years of therapy that I then realized all roads lead back to sex. Sexual assault ruins women's lives in more ways than one. The whole system is fucked, and if you can't see that, you're part of the fucking problem. I am a loud ass woman. I believe I was sent on this earth to be a fucking loud bitch. The men don't get it when you shut the fuck up and you cower away from what they did. Why didn't the women of the G-Eazy assaults go to the police? Because police don't do shit.
And then this is a famous person. That's my other, like, the whole other thing about it. Do you not understand the power dynamics when it comes to a famous person versus some regular person? A woman at that, a black woman at that? Ooh, y'all know how to fire me up. Y'all know how to fire me up.
And yo black ass should have known that. To take
Okay.
the side as a black man. Are you
Okay.
fucking stupid? If you get hate crimed by a white woman and you go to the police, who the fuck do you think they're believing? It ain't
Okay.
your black ass. So I
Okay.
hop off the police's dick.
Right. Do you remember what happened to Emmett Till over lies that somebody told? They didn't even give him a chance to explain himself. They didn't care for him to explain himself. You're a black man. You should know more than anybody that the police do not help us. They hurt us more than they help us. Come on. Like, let's be so for real. And I'm not saying all cops, but what I'm saying is a lot of times, if it's me versus you, you're winning. Come on, bro.
If I were you. At the age of 6.
All right. I got triggered enough for one morning. So thank y'all for tuning in. I'm going to see y'all in my next video. The next one, well, we're finishing Narc Week, so I will still be triggered, but in a different way for different reasons. But I just needed to get my message out there and her message out there because y'all are tripping. Bye, y'all.